My name is Esther Kitumaini. I am from DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and I came here in 2013. That means I'm going to make 12 years or 13 years soon in Uganda. And what brought us here, we were actually fleeing from the conflicts that actually happened in 2012, around 2012 toward the end there in 2013. Yeah, so there was an M23 war something, and so my family was being attacked, and so we had to come this side. And through our journey, our mom, we lost contact with our mother. Up to now, we've never seen her, and so that's how we are in Uganda right now. Well, we were so young by then. And I think our sister, my elder sister, she was then 17 or 16 by the time we got to Uganda. Yeah, and so when we reached here, we were actually received by a particular church that took us in. Then by then when we got here, they were still allowing refugees to register from Kampala. So we registered, went to the office, then to OPM, and then we got our Salam seekers, and then because we were young, we couldn't get IDs by then. Yeah, but we had the family attestation. And then we started learning English, because we knew things were going to be different from then. It was not the same anymore, like our parents are not there. And so we had to stand up and be resilient and keep going with life. By the time we got here, I had just finished my P6, so I was going in senior 1 of GRC, like it's a French country. Yeah, so by the time we got here, I didn't know English, and all of us didn't know English, but we went, there's an organization that's called Refugee Project. So we went there, we started learning English. They have an English program for adults, but we enrolled and started learning English. I think 3 months later, we now joined school, normal school curriculum. Then I went to they took me back to P4 because I couldn't speak English, and so I moved back to P4. And my young brother was supposed to go in P5, he went to P2. So that's how it was for us. Yeah, but then we went to school, we finished. I actually came out the best in the P4 that I didn't know English in. I was the best, and then I was my teacher said, you don't have to do P5, you can just go straight to P7. So I went to P7, I finished my PLE exams, which is the primary living examination that we did. Then I got a scholarship, a church scholarship. Yeah, and then I did my high school from Mengo. That's where I finished from my A-level in biology, chemistry, and math. I excelled, but then I couldn't get into university because I didn't have the ability to go at university. But then I wanted to do medicine, and we weren't allowed to fill the Pujab forms because you're not Ugandan and you're not going to fill it. So I missed a government scholarship. So I sticked around. I kept doing online courses by the time we finished our examination. It was post-COVID. That's when the results came out in 2021. So I did online courses. I got my first job, and then I got a scholarship to go back to the university, and now I'm doing public health. So I always tell people, everywhere I go, I be like, public health is the best course in the world. I think because during the gap that I had from high school to university, I did a lot of community work. I went for the Peer Educators Academy, where I became a peer educator. I was assigned to a school that I'm supposed to go through every week to do peer sessions with the learners. Yeah, and so that whole community aspect, it kept inspiring me to just go for community. And so by the time I got the scholarship, they actually gave me the ability or the opportunity to choose what I wanted to do. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to do something in line with community. And with public health, the beauty about it is that we get to prevent diseases. We don't allow them to happen. So as a doctor, you sit at the facility or at the hospital, and you have to wait for patients to come so you can treat them and they go back. But public health is more like we don't want you to reach at the point where you have to go to the hospital. So we make sure we We do a lot of community engagements. We do a lot of campaigns of health promotion, health education. And I think that's where the birth of Wise Baby Porridge came from. Just the ability to know that we could prevent anything that could cause death. Like malnutrition, we could prevent it by just a mere factor of you eating healthy and your child being fine with a simple meal. Yeah, we could prevent everything. So I think that's the perspective. From public health, it's more of preventing things from happening. Well, I would say it's an idea that I always had in mind, but I think I just never paid attention to it. It was like a far-fetched things in my head because I had a job that I was doing and I was doing with kids. So I love things to do with children. And by then I was working, which I'm still working with, but not fully. Then when I went through all through the intensive, the 1 week intensive, they were like, okay, you don't have to stick to the idea or initiative that you applied with. You can always change to something that you feel this is going to create more impact. And I think that was just a push for me. So I had a chat with Isaac after that, and it was like, okay, you have to try things out, try and see if it will work, or if it doesn't work, then it's okay. But if you keep it in mind and you say, it never worked, you'll die with regrets because you didn't try, you didn't know that it worked or it didn't work, you're just there. So when we came back, I remember coming back and telling my sister the whole story, and so we were like, you know what, we're going to start doing the production. We did a lot of research online. How do we make sure that, because our major focus has always been on the first 1,000 days, and the first 1,000 days is from pregnancy up to the child's second birthday. And when you do a lot of research, scientific research, it shows you that by the time a child makes 2 years, 75 to 80% of their brain is fully developed. Like the whole human body, 80% is already developed, and any damage that happened on the brain at that particular moment is irreversible. That's where you find out that children grow, but they don't really become so successful or use up all their full potential because they had a particular damage that happened during the foundational years that couldn't be covered. So what we did is we did a lot of research. What can we put together to make sure that we are supporting the proper brain development, especially when the child is still in the mother's womb, and also when they come out 6 months and above. So we did a lot of research, a lot of preparations, and we went and talked to the food scientists. They gave us a lot of knowledge. They told us this is how you have to do it. They helped us basically in the product development, knowing the quantity of what to put. Why do we have to add millet? Why do we have to add soya? So we now had a good product that we could put out there. Then by the time the year started, we had got a great designer that helped us do the box, the packaging. And then we did our first try in the market. We took it to the market and people really loved the packaging mostly. And then when they took it, they're like, yeah, this is the best. But we didn't stop there. We kept doing improvements because we had an issue when it comes to the lifespan of the porridge. And so we still went back to the food scientists and said, maybe we should reduce on some of the things that we put, because when you have a lot of nutritious things together, they don't have a long lifespan because there's a lot of chemical reaction that happen between them. So we reduced a little of them, and also the other option was either we add preservatives, but our major goal has always been no preservative. We're going to keep it as organic as we can. The journey has been so beautiful, with lots of growth, with lots of amazing things. I think Amahoro really it surpassed all my expectations, what I was expecting from a fellowship, because we've been through other fellowships and Amahoro is just so unique. I got in, a friend of mine who is in cohort 1, Shalom, he sent me the link and said, Esther, you should try this out. And so like, okay, I'm just gonna try it out because you said so. So I tried it out and I went through the fellowship, I went through the application, and then I went through the interviews. And yeah, I think on 20th June 2024, yeah, I think 24, I got the congratulation email that you've been selected, and that was, yeah, it was beyond. I didn't know there was money attached. I think all I wanted at that moment was I just want to grow as a person. I want to grow as a leader. Even as I'm working here, I want to like to really be different. And I think that's how the journey has been. My mindset has changed. And now I'm trying to fit very well into the leadership position where I'm now going to be leading a team of people and trying to really create change in the community. So that's how the fellowship has been for me.